So you can only realize what's sacred when you enter into the mind. Like, what are the sacred things in your mind? What's sacred in your heart? And you can only do that when you do a little self-exploration. And there are things that keep you from the sacred, like your sacred calling or your sacred talent or your sacred mission or your sacred gift. There are things that can keep you from even exploring that. They can be things on the outside of you, like your situation, and they can be, your situation, your relationship status, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it really starts on the inside. And I think for most of us, what keeps us from exploring kind of our sacred mission, our sacred gifts, our sacred talents, just like the sacred thing that's so important to us, but that we forsake, is fear. And I feel like it's so incredibly important. People will tell you this. It's so incredibly important to do what you're afraid to do. Within reason, like I've mentioned on my blog, like, don't do stupid stuff that's going to get you killed, unless, people do stupid stuff that could get them killed, and that's kind of their thing and their responsibility. But like you and me, kind of, people aren't daredevil-y. We do have to tap into a daredevil-ishness inside of ourselves that enables us to do the things we fear the most. And so it's terrifying, but it's also compelling. And so you have to do the things that scare you despite the fact that they're terrifying. And only then do you enter into the sacred place of peace and like the next level. You could just kind of go, wow, like, it's okay here. And facing my fears made me feel better. It made me feel more secure. It made me feel more in touch with God, the universe. It made me feel connected and like he's there and he's got my back, and it's a really cool place to be. But you have to touch, you have to reach out and touch what you're afraid of. And for some of us, that's like something that's been with us for a really long time. Some of our fears go back to childhood and our programming. And for some of us, like, we even fear love. We even fear being loved. And it might be that we fear being loved because we fear the loss of that. And that's where we have to learn to accept the love and the gifts that the universe offers, and get to a place internally and emotionally and spiritually where we can accept all of this with gratitude and love, and be able to release it, which is the hardest thing. I was talking to a friend about like these soul connections, and she said that someone she listens to said that she doesn't know why humans even do marriage. And I kind of like, I was like, I get it. You want, when you meet like this person who you're really connected to, you want to lock them in. And connection can sometimes just be that temporary. And after that comes commitment, where you maybe do stuff you don't want to do. Like even in meditation, sometimes you commit to meditating when you don't feel like you commit to telling your body no. Sometimes, like, the way I like to do it sometimes is to tell my body, yes, what do you want to do? You want to scratch that itch? Do it. Be you. Be your body. Be who you are, little body, whatever. But sometimes you tell your body no. And so in relationships, connection is amazing and wonderful, but sometimes commitment overrides connection. And it's like you sit with that itch and it grows you. And it's really, really cool. And so that's a whole nother area to be explored, by podcast, by blog, whatever, by the book, whatever. But I think the biggest lesson I've learned is to step into fear, is to move into fear, is to lean forward into fear and do the shit you're afraid to do, because it has something to teach you. And then you emerge on this glorious plane of, like, a meadow of accomplishment and of self-awareness and of peace and of joy. And it's really cool. Even though that everything's not perfect and there's still lack in some ways, it's still a step up. It's still a raise in your vibration. And it's so important that you do this, that you learn to vibrate, that you work on vibrating higher, because when you are at a higher vibration, when you're at a higher level, you raise everyone around you. And that is incredibly important for all of us to do. And so I just wanted to put that out there. Move into your fear. Face your fear. Step into your fear, because there are gifts in the fear. And you'll never know. You'll never know them if you don't do it. And so that is it for this moment in time. And I will talk to you soon. Join me, if you like, on the Sacred Mind blog. It's a baby blog, so there's not a ton of stuff up, but there's a lot of content kind of loaded in the barrel that I have to tweak and finish up. But it's thesacredmind.com, and I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, and really just exploring. Oh my gosh, there's so many levels of sacredness in the mind, and the connection of the heart with these sacred things in our head and the way that they work together to either work for us or against us. And I'm just loving the beginning of this journey. It's kind of a miracle in itself. And I think we'll all benefit from exploration, if you will. Anyway, that is it. I will not keep you any longer. I know that we live in a soundbite generation. Anyway, that's it. So I will talk to you next time, and see you soon.